my goodness. We have reached the home stretch, the final 10 countries in our Wiwi Jury review series. The winner will be revealed in this group of countries. So this is very, very exciting. It's been a very long day. I think you guys have reviewed, what, 20 songs today?
Oh my gosh, like... My ass is like flat, literally.
We need to make this concise, keep it brief. We're going to speed through these so that everyone can get to bed at a reasonable hour. Peter. Dinner was amazing, Eurovision Idol. We went to a place called Taco Bang. Taco Bang, found by our vegetarian here. Yeah, they had all sorts of... Do you hear us? Is one of us playing it? Do you hear?
You are playing it.
There we go. Okay, sorry about that.
Finally.
Excellent.
He made a mistake.
Do you hear it? Okay, fantastic. Well, look, guys, just so you know, these are the countries that we're going to review in this section. We're going to do Austria, France, Ireland, Ukraine, Portugal, Italy, Greece, the Netherlands, Spain, and Sweden.
Hey.
All right.
Hey, ho.
Let's go.
Did you just call me home?
Kick this off with Austria. Lumix featuring Pia Maria. The song is Halo. Our girl does not have an angelic voice. Let me just start with that. We worried when the studio cut was released that it wouldn't sound as good live, and unfortunately during the pre-parties we have seen exactly that. The halo is tarnished. It has not sounded good live. Our girl has not harmonized with her own voice on the playback. This gives me deep, deep concern for the semi-final. Jonathan Votri from the UK, what do you think?
Well, in terms of the studio cut, I absolutely love this. I have been jamming out to this ever since it was released. It has been...
Sorry, guys.
Those Badoo adverts, back again. Yeah, I just think this is so much fun. You know, it's got that 80s, 90s twist to it, but it doesn't sound dated. It's just a really upbeat dance track that I am absolutely loving. In terms of the live stuff, I haven't been to any of the pre-parties specifically. I've watched like a couple of videos, but so I'm not gonna, I guess, judge too much. Most of my scores were done on the studio cuts alone, so that's generally what I've been reviewing. And in terms of that, this is one of my absolute favourites of the year. I have this on repeat.
All right, I want to read a comment. This is Lee Fern 40. I bloody love this, but her vocals worry me. And Rhythm Inside said Austria is the winner. Sinan.
Well, not this year. No, I mean, come on. Do you think that Austria will win?
No.
No. I like the song. I like the song very much. I listened to it. The studio version is amazing and everything. It's like, I love electropop, dance. Oh my gosh, that's my thing. But, girl, what happened? The live Pia Maria, she's so cute. She's everything. And Lumix, they're like so cool people. But Pia Maria, I want to know what's the you know... some people said that she had corona. That's why it's like not destroyed, but kind of affected her vocal strings. Do I say it right? Strings?
Yes.
And then I hope that she recovers. That's true, because girl, you have to stay at Eurovision, okay? With that song. But at Eurovision, on the stage, if you sing like on the parties, oh my god.
Juries won't put this through if the voice is like that.
Even the fans are disappointed. I see a lot of like messages, a lot of tweets on Twitter, on YouTube, on Wiwibloggs.com. They're like, oh my, disappointed, or even so sad that even haters like they were like writing why she's so bad, like bad vocals, worse vocals, and everything. I hope that I don't know.
All right, Suzanne.
So, this is a fun pop song. Let me be your halo after going to hell and back. I like the red halo versus the yellow, silver, white. It's kind of like a whole bad angel effect. And in whichever video I watched, I loved the hot Asian man. And I'm not one who often goes for Asian men.
Can we just preface this by saying she's half
fun.
Asian, so she is not trying to sound like a hater? Go ahead.
I like it. It's pop. It's fun. Moving on.
All right, Jonathan, why don't you give us your score out of a 10 along with a prediction of whether this will make it out of the semifinal?
I do really hope that it makes it out of the semi-final. I know there are vocal issues, but I'm confident, hopefully, if she's had the rehearsals on stage, that it will get better. My score, though, is a whopping 9.5.
Okay.
This is,
9.5?
Our boy
Yes.
likes it.
This is one of my absolute favourite songs of the year. I am madly in love with the studio track.
So, if I were evaluating the studio track alone, I would give this an okay score. But after hearing the live vocals not once, but twice, 3 times, 4 times a murder, I cannot in good faith give this a high score. I'm dropping a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's a great studio track, a little dated. The vocal pitch timbre is a little piercing for me. But what could have been is not because of the live performance. Suzanne.
She's not made it to the Eurovision stage yet. I scored this as a 6. I'm on the fence if it's going through or not. I think it's going to come down to it's going to be sort of a last minute, we're on pins and needles waiting to see if it actually does go through.
I gave it 7 point out of 10 before the live performances. Yes. I hope that she slays on the Eurovision stage. If she doesn't, Austria is not going through. Sad. Well, Austria didn't go, didn't go to the final last year. So, girl.
Semi-final 1, there are about 4 or 5 countries I think are on the bubble. I think Austria's in there. I think, I don't know, Lithuania, Switzerland, they're Croatia. There are a lot of countries I think that could go through. I just don't know who will go through. In any case, we are not the only Wiwibloggers. There are dozens of us all over the world, from the United States to Australia to Sverige. And when we take the overall average, we get...
The fuck was that?
That duck. 6.97. That's a 6.97. Jonathan, where did Austria finish overall with our team?
Overall, they finished in 16th place. On the upper half of things in general.
16th. All right, we are going to move on, speedily on. The next country we're reviewing is France. Alvan and Ahez with Fulenn. As you know, the song is in the language of Brittany, of Breton. This is all about a girl dancing in the forest in front of the devil. She is doing her magic in the dark outside, and the devil is watching her dance. I think the male singer here, Alvan, he almost looks possessed as he dances. His body moves freely, like he's made of jelly. You're ready to open up. Wow. Hashtag celebrate
and
diversity.
Hear the sound of beauty.
Yes, girl. Hear the sound of beauty. I think that this has struggled with technical difficulties. In Amsterdam, there were a lot of technical issues.
Yes.
Not down to them.
But only in Amsterdam.
Yeah, in London they were quite good. It's very messy. It's chaotic. But I think that makes it special. The fact that it is all over the place. I think they've got charisma. He in particular...
nerve and talent.
Yes, he in particular is very telegenic, I would say. On the whole, I think this is another strong offering from France. I don't think it's top 5. I think maybe top 15. 15 to 10 is where I see this finishing. I really like it. Jonathan.
Yeah, I think this is a really good entry from France. They've definitely found their Eurovision mojo over the past couple of years, and I think it's great that they've been able to do so with two very different entries. You know, they came second last year, but they didn't decide to completely repeat it and just send, you know, another chanson song, and they've gone for this blend of electronic, techno and folk, and we saw with Goe last year that blend can work really well, and I think it does work really well here as well, and I think it's a refreshing song from France really compared to a lot of the entries that they have sent. So yeah, I'm really happy that we have this in the contest.
And Sinan, before we go to you, I just want to shout out, Gingerbread says France is good because Alvan is hot.
Bonsoir Paris!
Rhythm Inside says juries will ruin France's chances.
Ooh, France's chances.
And Peter says France's act this year as weird as F you know what he says. All right, Sinan.
I love this track a lot. I mean, the beginning is so iconic. I feel like I'm in Amazonia and, you know, a lady appears and like, you know, I think that's iconic. And the girls, I think the voices, they sing live really good, like literally like the studio version. And Alvan, he has, you know, charisma, uniqueness, nerve and talent, of course, but he's so, you know, like kid dancing on the floor, like literally just jumping, having fun, and he's so handsome, of course. The visuality is very important at Eurovision. Not always, of course, I'm just kidding. For me, it's important.
Ooh, James Watson disagrees. Those girls have not harmonized once in their lives.
I don't know about harmonizing, but they sound amazing live. I just don't say anything else.
All right, Suzanne.
So it opens up in a green mist. I like how we have the sky and the forest, you know, the heavens and the earth.
The Garden of Eden.
She is dancing for the devil. All of the green kind of gives me a Wizard of Oz wicked-like feel. You've got the good, you've got the bad, you've got Elphaba, you've got Galinda. I kind of asked myself throughout the dancing, what is the dancing metaphorical of? Who is she? This, you know, all of these women amidst this one man amidst all these women kind of stuck out to me, and it's got kind of a tribal feel. So not one of my favorite songs, as you'll see from my scoring and where it ranks amidst the 40. But it's, you know, great.
Really?
All right, she describes it as green.
Is that a move on song?
Now listen,
No.
Jonathan, it's time to go around and give our scores out of a 10 with a final prediction or justification. Go.
I gave this a 7.5. It is one that I really enjoy listening to, and I think it should do reasonably well for France. I think I'd agree with your sort of shout of 10 to 15. That sort of mark is where I'd expect it.
I'm giving this an 8.5, mostly because it's completely different from everything else.
Okay.
A lot of people have made this Go-A comparison. I don't think, I mean, in the sense that it's combining different genres in an effective way, sure. But this is in no way a copycat. A lot of people have said this copies Tanchueras from Spain, but obviously they would have submitted their song, you know, before Benidorm Fest, because songs were due way back before. So nobody's copying nobody. It's just that they're honoring their traditional music. Yeah, I hope for the best. I want to read this comment from Ali Egg. I think they can totally slay and go to the top, but I think their vocals need a lot of work.
Really? Why?
The harmonies have not been on point.
Okay.
And Noah Reynolds says the song is a huge
It
bop.
is, yes.
Suzanne.
I rated this as a 3. I will state that I rated it the first night that I was rating. It was not in my bottom.
Wait, it wasn't in your bottom? What was in your bottom that night?
Well, my bottoms were 2s. I had multiple 2s. So, yeah, we'll see how it, you know, it's likely to elevate. We'll see how it does.
In case you couldn't hear her, she gave this a 3. Sinan.
I gave France a 3.
Sinan.
I gave France 8 point out of 10. I love that song, and I think that people actually they will get a lot of points from the televoting.
All right. Well, we, of course, are not the only Wiwibloggers. There are dozens of us all over the world, from Australia to Spain to the United States. And when we take the average across all these people, ranging in age from 18 to over 60, the average is 7.28.
Nice.
Jonathan, where did France finish in our top 40?
So they finished joint on the same score as Serbia and Czech Republic. When you do tie breaks, that put them in 14th place.
14th out of 40. Okay.
That's nice. Hello.
Yeah, that's not a bad result. Okay, you guys, we are moving on. After shouting out to our readers, Jerry says he gave Wait, what? Alban. Are we talking Festivali Kunges? Wait, let me move on another one. Wait. Does anyone have a comment on France? Queen Cherry says, I love France, one of my favorites of this year. Artur, we love your love of Spain. We will get to her later. MH said, this won't get enough jury love. And okay, Artur, babes. Artur, honey.
Artur,
You're
amazing.
We love
Te
Chanel,
amo tanto.
but can we talk about her when we talk about Spain? It will make this
Hermoso
chat much
reina.
easier to kind of
I love
navigate.
Spanish boys.
And my doppelganger says, "C'est pas mal. It ain't bad, y'all."
My doppelganger.
All right, we move on. Ireland, Brooke.
That's rich.
Oh,
When it's coming from you, that's rich. Bye bye fool. I was thinking I was hearing actually when I was listening to that song, instead of bye bye fool, bye bye boo.
I heard boy to begin with. So
Really?
yeah, I heard
I was
bye bye
like
boys
bye
as
bye
well.
boo, like bitch, bye bye bitch. I
Oh.
love her. Sorry.
No, I love your enthusiasm. Brooke, of course, was on The Voice UK. She's competing in semi-final 2, and the UK is voting in semi-final 2. So hopefully that will help her. I think her trajectory, as we've said many times before, is that she's grown. She kind of, and I was actually on the jury in Ireland, and like, that night, I thought her and Patrick were the two that stood out. Patrick
Thank you so much for.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome, honey. Yeah, she had the most kind of entertaining performance, whereas Patrick's was perhaps more polished. But anyway, Europe has embraced her. They really like her kind of punk pop aesthetic. She said recently on Irish television that she's ditching the pajama party. She will not be showing up in her pajamas. She said the national final performance was elementary school. She said her promo tour was high school. And now our girl is going to university here in Torino. Let's hope that that is true. Thank you so much, Dennis. He says, I love Ireland, but love y'all more. You are so sweet. Titari Chan says, I love that church so much, but it kind of gives me last place vibes.
No.
Hope she'll do well and slay, though.
I don't think so.
Okay, Jonathan, why don't we turn it over to you, and please tell us, do you think this is a last place song? How's the jury gonna evaluate it?
In terms of the song itself, no, it doesn't deserve to come in last place. I think this is one of the most contemporary sounding songs that Ireland have sent over the past decade. It gives me the sort of Gale vibes and a sort of Olivia Rodrigo, that sort of punk pop sound. Brooke is maybe more on the sassy side rather than the sort of the full-on punk. But I've been really enjoying the sound of the song, and it's one of my most played songs of the year. In terms of the live performance, to be honest, if they'd sent the national final performance, I could have seen this coming in last place.
Yeah.
That was not great at all. And even in the sort of promo pre-party series, she's doing a lot of choreography, but I can see a lot of the time that she's thinking about the choreography, and that then takes away from the character that she's supposed to be portraying. It doesn't necessarily feel natural. Like in the early days of Dua Lipa, where she didn't necessarily have the dance training.
Whoa, hold up. Lee Fern, thank you for the super chat donation. We appreciate that. That will help us pay our monthly server fee. About
£20.
That's really kind. That's very kind. Thank you so much.
Thank
we
you so
appreciate
much.
that.
Thank you very much.
Mwah. And I'm really sorry to have interrupted you. I'm so
That's
sorry.
all right. It was worthy of an interruption.
We do everything for money.
Well, to pay our server bills, so we do
He does
appreciate it.
everything.
Yeah, I feel
Despite
like
what I said earlier.
there's like Brooke just needs, I think, a lot more practice in there to become a fully fledged pop star. So hopefully, you know, she's been doing the same choreography in all pre-parties, so that's sort of what I'm expecting her to deliver on the stage. Hopefully she's done it enough times now that it comes a bit more naturally and she can give the character in there as well. So fingers crossed.
Imtho says 18th place in the semi.
I hope not.
Oh, Danny says, I care more about Brooke than Olivia Rodrigo. Yes, that's an endorsement. And Amon Storm says, I really like the Irish song. It's modern enough, commanding, sassy, and feel good. The only thing that harms this is the lack of vision the Irish delegation have regarding how to package this. It's definitely seemed like a work in progress. And so let's hope they've arrived at a good destination. Suzanne.
So Sinan and I are constantly saying our response to things has become, that's rich, whenever we're talking about different things. So the song is incredibly memorable. I love how it opens up with, 80s, the lip gloss, the tennis outfits, the satin pants. It's kind of an FU song. I like that. I think it's really funny, the point where she's just kind of surrounded by money, and it takes me back. Our mother got this, one of the stimulus checks in America, and William comes home and she hands William $50 bills, half of the stimulus check, and me $50 bills, the other half of the stimulus check.
We were throwing that money in the air.
This funny moment with $50 bills in my sitting room, and it took me back to that moment, which was just really funny. By the way, Mom, thanks again for the stimulus money.
Yeah, I had some chicken sandwiches.
From Chick-fil-A, because he was in Atlanta.
No. It was not Chick-fil-A, because I don't approve of their attitudes and donations to anti-LGBT
I have
charities.
no idea for what you're talking about right now.
Okay, anyway, so
That's still Wiwi
she
Jury.
there's a psychedelic moment. She references a lazy lover and how she's moved on to the ones that move me. Oh yeah. All right. So I love her little wink at the end, and it's, let me see, where's my note on Australia? There we go.
You always said everything.
Given the way I rated, she came in pretty high, but she's rather, we'll talk about it when I do my top 40, but I like the song. I like Brooke. I do think it's going through. What do you guys think?
I think we need to read this comment from Emil Sorensen, who says, my friend is a dancer in the Irish delegation, and let's just say y'all will be shook.
I'm
love to hear it.
Ready.
Emil, drop us some clues in the chat. We'll feature you again. C9.
I love that song a lot.
That's rich.
Face impression. I love that song from the day when they announced, the national final songs. Fan of Wiwibloggs wrote me on Instagram, shared that song. He was like, you have to listen to that song because you will love it. And I really love it. And, Brooke told me that these parties are like, exercise for her before Eurovision. And I think she exercised a lot. She was literally everywhere, right? Like Barcelona, Madrid, Tel Aviv, Amsterdam, London. Wow. She's ready to slay. She's ready to serve. And I am so happy for her. I love that song. And she's also one of the songwriters. She wrote that song.
Honey, you're shaking the table with your foot.
Bravo. Bravo, Brooke. I love it so much.
Javidis Valentukonis says, Ireland won't finish high. Televoters will leave her in the bag.
Well, I hope they treat her better than they treated Leslie Roy last year across the board.
We love Leslie Roy.
Yes, we do.
All right, Jonathan, it is time for you to give us your score out of a 10 and whether you think this is making the final.
So I do all my scores based on studio cuts just to make it an even playing field because we don't see live performances from everyone. So my score is an 8.5 out of 10. It is one of my favourite songs of the year again. Absolutely in love with this vibe. In terms of making the final, I'm going to have to leave that down to what we see in rehearsals. I think there's enough of a strong song in there that it can push through, but if we see similar staging to what we have seen in whether it be the national final or pre-parties, then my hope is slightly lower.
C9.
9 out of 10. It's one of my favorite songs this year. I absolutely love it. It has that vibe that I need to slay the day. So, yeah. I think she will do good at Eurovision because she has a vision. She is a queen and yeah.
Suzanne.
It's 22 an Irish song.
Yes, Sarah
You know,
McTernan.
that's one where we liked it and then it just didn't fare well, right? And I can kind of see this one kind of going down that same path of being liked and not faring well in the end. But I gave it a 5, which was actually high considering how I scored Minnie the first night that I scored. A 5.
Can y'all hear Suzanne? She's quite far away from the mic.
I gave it a 5. I'm comparing this performance to what we might have seen a couple of years ago, 22 Sarah McTernan. We liked it. Not sure how well it's going to end up doing though. And there you have it. If you didn't hear me the first time, hopefully you heard me the second time.
You look like an alien right now. All right.
Somebody wrote, she has a vision and she has euros. Yes!
Emil Sorensen says this is going to go top 10 with the jury when y'all see rehearsals. That's based on his intel from his friend who's a dancer. We should remember that Ireland is performing 10th in semi-final 2. Now, a lot of people think that if you're drawn into the second half and the producers put you at the very beginning, that they think you're weak. So some people have said they worry for Ireland coming after Cyprus. We know Cyprus's vocals will be on point and Cyprus will have something sunny and bright. However, after Ireland is North Macedonia, which can be a bit stagnant. So maybe Brooke will pop out because of the stagnant stuff that comes after. In any case, I really like Brooke. I think she's a lovely person. I think she's a lot of fun. I think she's sassy. I think she's edgy. If I were judging this based on the early pre-parties, if I was judging this based on the latter pre-parties where she improved, I'd be smiling. At the time of submitting my score, I gave her a 6, but that 6 is wrapped in love and sugar. I think Our Girl has the potential to slay if Emil is right that they've elevated the staging, and I do hope they will. I'm not gonna lie, I always worry for Ireland.
It's interesting. You gave 12 points in the national final, but you give now 6 points.
Yes, because in the national final, did you see what she was up against? Did you see the other acts in the national final? All of these ratings are relative to the other songs in the competition. She killed it in Ireland, relatively speaking, but at Eurovision, it's a bigger stage. You've got more countries. Ireland's staging in the past, 22?
I see 22.
Our Girl deserved better staging. Is all I have to say.
The song my milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard is like what's coming to mind as I talk about 22.
What the hell?
All right, we're gonna move on.
What the actual?
We are not the only Wiwibloggs. There are dozens of us all over the world, and they too have submitted their scores. And when we take the overall global average, we get 7.41.
Oh.
Now,
that's nice.
Jonathan, a lot of commenters have said this is overrated and that we overrated this. What are your thoughts? Where did it finish?
So it finished 10th. So it's like bottom of our top 10.
Might be a little liberated.
Yeah,
You're going to have to move up so people can hear you.
That might be a little liberated.
Suzanne's 5 is the lowest. So a lot of it's interesting because a lot of songs had maybe like 1 or 2 people that would rank it, 3 or maybe 3.5. Whereas having 5 as a low score is actually relatively decent. So there's no one sort of properly dragging it down, which means that the general sort of average is slightly higher, I think.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Do I think this is going to finish in the top 10 of Eurovision? No, I don't. Heart of hearts, I would love to see that because we always root for Ireland, which is so often an underdog, and we love Brooke and her bubbly personality. I don't see this as top 10. I hope this makes the final. I hope this comes top 10 in the semi. Yeah. Just a final prediction. You have to say yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Sinan, will this make the final?
Yes. Yes.
Suzanne?
I'm not sure.
I need you to answer as a human. Suzanne.
I'm not sure.
Jonathan?
Just based on what we've seen so far, I would have to say no.
Yeah, based on what we've seen so far, I'm gonna say no. However, I do hope the revitalized staging makes it a yes. I do hope. All right, we need to move on. We move on. The next country is moving on is Ukraine. Kalush Orchestra, Stefania. They do, of course, repeat the word mamo over and over.
We love mama.
It doesn't matter what language you speak. You know that means mother.
Mama.
You can figure it out.
Can we say we love mama?
Go for it.
Say we love mama.
Oh yeah, we love mama. It's a universal theme. People love their mothers. Of course,
I love Mama.
In light of the recent war, or the ongoing war in Ukraine, the song takes on a new meaning. In Amsterdam, they told us in an interview on Wiwibloggs.com that the song can mean Mother Ukraine now. People are viewing this as kind of Ukraine fighting for its freedom, fighting for its existence. And that's a really beautiful thing, that this song has come to represent perseverance. It's come to represent unity. It represents a lot to many different people. And I think regardless of whether you speak Ukrainian or not, you will feel that sentiment. The fact that they're there, the fact that they've arrived. Thank you, Merva. Thank you so much. We really appreciate. That's very, very kind. You are beautiful. Mwah. That's so kind. But Stefania, as this figure of perseverance, I just think it's really, really beautiful. And televoters will respond to that. I'm not one of these people who thinks this is going to automatically win. I don't think it's a given. If you look at the jury vote...
Super chat from PLN.
Oh, thank you. We just thanked PLN, my love. We just thank you so much again. We really appreciate it. You're behind. You should follow that chat on that screen. In any case, in 1993, Bosnia was at war. The singer Fazla escaped the siege of Sarajevo to reach Eurovision. It was a moment of the night when the commentator said, "Hello, Sarajevo, we are hearing you." Everyone had chill bumps, goosebumps. They were applauding. The jury still put this 15th out of 25. The Bosnian entry during the war in Bosnia. So it's not a given that the sympathy... Oh my God, Suzanne, honey, we have to kind of focus and finish because it's getting late.
I'm just trying to get back to the
All right. So it's not a given this will win. However, there is a lot going for it, and they will give us a very emotional moment. I'm so glad they can make it to the contest. Jonathan.
For me personally, regardless of what was going on, I think this would still be a very strong entry for Ukraine. I think it represents their music industry really well, that mix of folk with rap representing their traditional and their modern, and I really like the vibe here. I've said in sort of other previous ones, having that ebb and flow between different aspects. So you've got that one part with the rap going on, and then it changes into the longer sort of traditional singing style. Having that dynamics in a song is really good to keep a viewer engaged, so you know where things are going. So yeah, I really like this song as a whole. When we take the situation going on, I do see this coming very high in the televote. It's definitely, people just will be voting for it. I don't think we can ignore that fact.
Tack så mycket.
Thank you so much, Lodikins297. Tusen tack. Tack så mycket.
That's Sweden.
It is, the jury is the one that we do have to watch out for, I think. We talked about previously how they sort of didn't go for Go Away as much as the public did last year, and I feel like it could be a similar situation again. So yeah, I would, regardless of if they still finish high, I think it would be deserved regardless. But yeah, we'll see.
Jonathan, why am I desperate? I'm really confused. Why are y'all laughing? Did you pass gas? Is it because you passed gas, didn't you? You passed. She passed gas.
No, she said.
That is, I'm so upset by that.
She didn't release the gas. There's enough gas on the air. In the air.
Okay.
Somebody say thank you in Italian, please.
Grazie.
Grazie.
Thank you so much for that analysis, Jonathan. Okay, Sinan, my honey. Sinan, your turn.
Yes. Stefania, mamo, Stefania. That line is the best line, and it's so memorable. The song is really energetic, and the whole performance. Those guys, they are so, cool. And even though the war wasn't happening, which I wished for, but sadly, it's there. It still would have been a contender, to win, or even go to the, or go to the top places. So yeah, sorry. They have that energy that we all need right now, and even though it's so like they are so brave and they are so strong. Like your country is at war, and they are. She always interrupts me.
Seriously, Suzanne, I'm so sorry. If you can't behave, you may have to leave the video
all the time.
This is really.
Yes, they are so brave to come, to the parties and give voice and say, hey, our country is at war, please help us, and that courage, and I feel like they're super strong people, and
Okay.
And the song is amazing. I like the song very much.
All right, Suzanne.
Okay, let me scoot up so you folks can hear me. Let's see. Ukraine. Hold please. Okay, here we go. I love the orange lights in the video. Mother Stefania. I love the strong beat. It sounds like they're singing about the mother country. It's rappy, it's fun, I love the vibe, funky, tribal, and I love the words about always finding your way home. So I like this song, and I rated it well.
Thank you so much for that. Interestingly, I keep going back to this Bosnia interview, but I found it so interesting. Fazla, you can watch it on our YouTube channel. Oh, that's the order. We have no water, so we ordered some water. We're having issues in our Booking.com apartment. Booking.com is, of course, the official sponsor. Eurovision.
I just don't know how to use them.
I'm never using the service again. It's been a really difficult experience. Poor Sinan's sheets, he changed the sheets on the bed only to discover brown material, which we're not quite sure what it is. Anyways, in this interview with Fazla, he talks about how when he got to Ireland, everyone was talking about the war. Every single major media outlet interviewed him. His story was out there. I realize that today in 2022, the world is seeing a lot more of the current war taking place in Ukraine. But for the time in '93, Fazla himself, the singer, in our interview on Wiwibloggs, says that he was getting non-stop attention. So I do think it was salient the week of, even if it wasn't in the months before. Certainly it became the talk that night. And Suzanne, that's not a band. That's an ambulance.
I hear that. I hope Sinan's okay out there on the street.
All right, look, we need to speed things along. Jonathan, what is your score out of 10?
My score for Ukraine is a 9.
Nice.
It is one of my, regardless of what was happening, it is one of my favourite songs of the year. I've grown to love Ukrainian music quite a lot over the last few years, so it's one that I have really strongly resonated with.
Yeah, I also have become a fan of Ukraine. Katerine with a Go A, she won my heart 2 years in a row. And so I really like this song. And quite honestly, I want to say that
I don't think I was associating the lyrics at all with the ongoing battle between Ukraine and Russia when I first listened to it. And I still liked it. I rated it a 7.5.
My score was a 7. But this has grown on me. Seeing them live in Amsterdam, they're very good performers. They really are. There was a real, not aggression, like a real presence, a real strength, a real force in their performance that I really enjoyed. I do think they will give us the most emotional moment of the night. I think they'll do great with the televote. With the jury, I'm less certain about. Sinan Sadula, your score for Ukraine.
7 out of 10.
That is a 7 from Sinan. Do you think they can win?
I don't think they will win. But
think
they
they're
will
going
go. They will be at the top. I think they will be like top 5. Yeah, because we love Ukraine, right? We love Ukraine.
Absolutely. Now, we, of course, are not the only Wiwibloggs. There are dozens of us all over the world, and when we take the overall global average, we get 7.66. So, Jonathan, how did they fare overall with the Wiwi Jury?
So going up 1 mark again, I believe they are not showing it to be 9th overall. Yep, 9th overall with the Wiwi Jury.
9th place goes to Ukraine. Fantastic. All right, let's quickly get some comments from you guys, and we will move on. Lauer, we will be doing a lot of coverage tomorrow. Unfortunately, the EBU has closed the press room as part of its business partnership with TikTok. They want to have all exclusive content on TikTok to help them grow their channel and respect whatever business plan they have in place with TikTok. So unfortunately, we will not be there. However, we will be reacting to rehearsal footage. So do follow Wiwibloggs on YouTube and the website and TikTok. And we will be sharing our thoughts.
And we will have 2 live streams tomorrow, correct? One in the morning and one in the evening.
We'll definitely have a live stream in the evening tomorrow afterwards where we recap the day, and we will do something during the day, but we haven't quite figured it out. So please just follow. Okay, we're gonna move on. Oh, honey, can I have a glass of water?
I would love some
Thank
water
you
also.
so
My
much.
cup is right here.
Is that your glass?
My cup is actually.
Yes.
You know what? I have water.
That's Williams.
And this is
Oh yeah,
mine.
thank you so much. Thank you so. You're amazing. We're parched. Okay. All right, we're moving on, you guys. The next country that we're reviewing is Portugal. This is MARO with Saudade. Saudade, I miss you. I miss you.
Sinan, fill me up, baby.
MARO is singing.
Okay.
MARO is singing about.
It's tight.
Okay, can we please stop referring to anatomy by its tightness? I just don't feel comfortable with these discussions. But I will. Whoa, Lee Fern, you are too generous this evening. Lee, you are
How
too
much? How much?
Thank you so much. Is that from earlier? No, that's 8 minutes
I'm
ago.
Steven, the sisters
You are too
always
kind.
with me.
Thank you so
Very
much.
sweet. Thank you so much, honey.
Do
Thank
we have
you.
to do stripping or something?
We are moving on to Portugal. Yes, singing about her
I have my
grandfather and how she misses him. Sinan, honey, are you about to cook a souffle?
Yes. Do you want some?
What's in the yellow bag? Is there more food in there?
Y'all, oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna turn the mic so that you can only hear from the front. All right, there we go. So, this song is very emotional. It creates a vibe, it creates a mood. Nothing sounds like this. Yes, it's traditional, but it's also pulling that tradition into the 21st century. It sounds contemporary. Y'all, seriously, I think we need to, I wish there was a button where I could put the two of you in timeout, because we don't have much time, and he's gotta go home, and you've gotta go to sleep.
You get distracted so easily.
All right, so long story short.
Breathe.
Long story short, I really enjoyed this song. I think that they need more staging at Eurovision, because what we saw at Festival de Canção was maybe a bit too pared back. It obviously worked domestically, so they played it smart. But I think to work for Europe, maybe it needs a little bit of, you need to zhuzh it up a little. Give it a little more, perfume it up with some spice, you know, Alyssa's Secret. Jonathan, what do you think of Portugal?
So this has been a grower for me. I think when I first heard it, I
Y'all, seriously? Jonathan is trying to speak. And you're like passing gas.
We didn't
like,
do
it's
any kind of that.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
It's alright. Yeah, it's definitely been a grower for me. I wasn't necessarily quite on board the first time I heard it, but every time I've listened to it, I've got into the emotion of the song a bit more, and just, really fallen in love with MARO and her expression to be able to sort of get it over to the listener. It's still not necessarily one of my top favourites of sort of the whole top 40, I guess. But it's one that I would quite like to see do pretty well. And I think of all the slower songs, I expect Portugal to sort of do the best and cut through the noise a bit more. I feel like more emotion here than some of the other ones where it just sort of fades into the background. Whereas I resonate a bit more with sort of MARO's performance.
Thank you so much. João Pedro says, this wasn't my favorite of Festival da Canção, but it's definitely a grower. Don't think it will win, but it could be a dark horse. Sinan.
Saudade. Right now, I really love the song. At first, when I listened to it, I was like, Like, I didn't like it. But then I started listening, I gave it another try, and then I watched the national final performances there, and I really love it, and I love the message here. The message is really, really, emotional, because, when her grandpa is passed.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So when I cannot speak when I get emotional. That's not nice.
You're getting emotional.
Yes, because
it's okay.
Can I talk later? Thank you.
Hashtag open up, honey. All right, Suzanne.
Let's see here. It has a very sweet opening. I love the instrumental start. MARO has a beautiful raspy voice. She looks very innocent. I love her natural makeup. She talks about not being able to move on, and obviously this is about her grandfather. And as we all know, losing anyone we love in that way, a family member, anyone, it's really hard to accept. It's really hard to move on. So it's simple, it's connected. I didn't really, I feel like she's connected throughout the song, but I didn't so much connect with the song. It's interesting, last year going into Eurovision 2021, Blas from Spain, one of my favorite songs, and that was really an ode to his grandmother, the way this is an ode to MARO's grandfather. So it's a very sweet song, and I love what it means, but it doesn't really move me.
Right, Blan, right. Thank you so much for your donation.
Thank
That's
you.
very, very kind.
And welcome back.
Thank you. It's nice to see you. We always love your comments. So great to see your comment with a $sign next to it too. It really helps us with our server bill for the website. So YouTube basically helps us pay for the website. So thank you so much. C9.
Yes, I really connect with that song a lot because, for example, I don't have grandpas, I don't have grandmas anymore, but like recently, 4 years ago or something like that, my, let's say, not favorite, but the one that I have been nearer than the others, my grandma, my mama's mom, died. And when I was listening to that song, right now I can say that I can imagine like we were going together with mom to the village of my grandma, and then she was cooking for us. It was, that kind of beautiful moments with her. Just outside is winter, it's cold, and inside is warm with food, with love and everything. And I really, really connect to that song a lot. And yes, and also, yes. When she sings live, I feel like she's in heaven and she's talking with her grandpa. I feel like they are only both of them together and no one else is there, and that emotion is so beautiful, and she literally gives every single emotion that song has to us, to us listeners. And yes.
Thank you so much for hashtag
I feel like she
opening up.
Surprisingly, she can win the contest, and we may go back to Lisbon.
Okay, hey, it could happen. Eurovision, anything can happen. All right, it is time for us to give our scores out of a 10, along with a prediction, starting with Jonathan.
So my score is a 6 out of 10. It's one that I have grown to like more. In terms of prediction, I do think it will make the final. And in terms of the final, I think it can push definitely towards the left-hand side of the scoreboard if they're really able to convey that message across to the audience and they really sort of give it the staging that it deserves.
My score is a lucky number 7. However, over time, this has elevated for me. At first, it passed me by, but it's really grown. It has a really nice quality where you can loop it, and you want to loop it again. I could see this coming 10th, 9th or 10th. Last year, the Black Mamba came top 10, and I personally think this is a better song. And we saw with the Black Mamba, they did improve their staging from Festival da Canção to Eurovision. So hopefully we'll see a similar pattern here. Suzanne.
I gave this a scoring of 3.
3?
3.
Girl, what the hell is going on with you? Like, do you have COVID or something?
No, I did not have COVID. I gave it a 3.
And why was that?
What the hell was that? What's going on?
We respect all scores. I'm just
Yes.
kidding.
I just said
yes,
I think
love
Maro has a beautiful raspy voice, and she seems very connected and pulled together. For some reason, I just didn't particularly connect with the song. Again, going into Eurovision 2021, Måneskin was my number 20. So that the numbers I'm giving today really, it's likely to change.
Absolutely. Sinan.
I gave it 8.5 out of 10. As I said, I really like the song. I really love the performance, and I will be honest, it's not a song that I listen every day, because normally I listen, above, songs or middle tempo. Ballads are normally not that present in my Spotify playlists, but that means that I really, sometimes you want to listen a song in a special occasion and not on, for example, you take a shower and I cannot listen to that song. Literally, I'm taking a shower.
For instance, I love Jamala's Eurovision performance, but I don't listen to 1944 on Spotify. But it was a deserving winner of Eurovision.
Absolutely.
Totally get it.
So this is one of those songs. I really respect that.
All right, we are not the only Wiwibloggers. There are dozens of us all over the world, and they too have voted. And when we take the overall global average, we get...
Why are you doing that? Like, la 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 la.
7.66. So, Jonathan, that's actually a very good score. Where did they finish with the Wiwi Jury?
So it's the exact same score as Ukraine.
Oh, yes.
So they finished on the same score. MARO just pushed ahead on the tie break, so it's 8th overall. It was interestingly rather divisive, with a high of 9.5 and a low of 1.
Oh, wow. Who gave this a 1?
Pablo gave this a 1.
Wow, that's
we
interesting.
need to talk now.
Wow. All right. Well, look.
Are you the new Oliver Adams from last year?
We are going to quickly read some of your comments. Sophia says it's quality and class.
Yes.
Michelle.
It's music.
Michelle says the score is high. Konska
10.
gives it a 10. Amazing. And I don't want to bring up the duck because I don't want the duck to talk. Oh, man.
It didn't.
Okay, all right. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. The next country we are reviewing is Italy.
Oh my god.
The San
Bellissima.
Remo winners, Mahmood.
You know, Mahmood is my husband.
Well, not legally, honey.
Not yet.
He's not with you. But I do wish you the best in that mission while you're here in Italy.
He's wanted this to happen since Portugal. Let's all manifest
I
a
have-
Mahmood and Sinan union.
All right.
Yes.
So today I was sitting in a hotel lobby and they were playing Brividi on the speakers. This was not a Eurovision playlist because all the other music was kind of other, mainstream pop. It was just really lovely to see. I've heard Brividi in public here many times. It's done very well here in Italy for good reason. Everything in Italian sounds better. I'm not going to lie. When I hear Italian music, I don't know what they're saying, but I love it.
That's the sound of beauty.
That is the sound of beauty. This gives me the shivers.
Italian voice as well.
Yes, I've said this before, but to me, the most amazing thing about this song is that it's very universal in the romance. Because say you don't speak Italian, you could see them both singing to their respective partners. You could imagine them singing to each other. You could imagine them. You could imagine many different scenarios, is what I'm trying to say. So it doesn't exclude anyone. Their feelings and their emotions are somewhat universal. And that's just really beautiful because everyone can get involved. Thank you so much, Bright Bland. We really appreciate that super chat. I didn't think Zala Gaspar could be beaten in the chill department, but Saudade does it. You are right. Alex talks about Italy this year is another ballad from Italy, another song that we have heard or seen. I don't want it as a winner. All right. I don't think Italy will win again.
Isn't it the curse of being the host country? They can't win, essentially.
Yeah, it's tough. Like Sabina Babaeva for Azerbaijan came fourth her year, which was excellent. But I do think Italy is in the race. I'm not discounting them as a factor. But I don't know. Will it win? Jonathan, what do you think?
Sorry, can I just show this?
Oh, that's beautiful. That's lovely.
That's me and my future.
I love that.
I'm
Thank you so
manifesting it
much.
now, baby. I'm manifesting.
I do like the song. Again, it's not one of my... Oh, hello.
Here, let's just...
Hi,
there we go.
everyone.
Go on. Speak, please.
It's not one of my favorite songs. I do feel it's a bit linear at some points. My favorite moment is when Blanco really gets into the bridge and things finally start building and the passion starts coming in, and that is definitely what draws me into the song. Oh.
Ali Egg, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Unpopular opinion.
Dankeschön.
I don't like Italy's song. We respect your freedom of expression. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. And also Lee Fern. We've just seen you again, Lee Fern. You are too generous.
Stop sending.
Italy could win third overall behind the UK, in second in the Eurojury contest, and 2 places behind Sweden, who won Eurojury 2022. Also, OGAE put Italy second, I believe, and we will see where the Wiwi Jury put it as well. Thank you for your comment, Lee.
But yeah, there's definitely a feeling of emotion in there that does resonate with me at a certain point. So it's not one I absolutely hate by any means. What's wrong with the photo?
I just want Jonathan to have his moment to talk, and Mahmood keeps interrupting the chat.
This is about Mahmood.
But yeah, I can definitely see them in the running. It topped the Spotify Global chart. So it's definitely one that the world is definitely on board with. So I can see it doing definitely pretty well.
Amazing. Actually, just to sate this bug, so that this bug is fed, here. Okay, Sinan, talk, please.
Jesus Christ.
Mahmood, ti amo, bellissima. You're amazing.
To all the
You're
powers
everything.
that be,
I love
the gods,
Ghetto Limpo.
the
That's one of my
goddesses,
favorite albums, like
Cupid,
ever.
bring
I
me
love
together.
Cobra. I love Dorado. I
Talking
love
about fish now?
every
Fish?
single thing about you.
Dorado, like Dorado's
You're
and
iconic.
So what do you think of Brividi, the song for Eurovision 2020?
It's
Two.
such a beautiful.
22.
That's a sign. Woohoo! It's such a beautiful song. Beautiful song. Sang or sung?
Song.
Sung
Beautiful
from
song.
two very, very talented and full of, music people, men, boys, creators, Italian meats and everything. I love the energy and the love. They literally have love on the stage while singing that song.
But they're just
Right.
friends, right? Like they're not.
Friends love. Yes, friends love. And
Like, they're for you.
Teddy says, I don't really like Mahmood's voice. I can't help it, but the song is amazing.
that's okay. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But
Super chat.
yeah, I think they will.
Whoa, tequila. Thank you so
Tequila.
much. Oh, sorry, not
I mean,
tequila.
we did eat
Wait,
tonight at
where's
Taco
tequila?
Bang.
Where's tequila?
It's like a tequila.
And thank you, tequila. I have really bad eyes. I thought it said tequila, but you know what? Tequila is even sweeter. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Waldorf, a story of realness. You're amazing.
Tequila, thank you. You're amazing.
That is so sweet. Suzanne.
So before I reference my spreadsheet, here, this song to me, Brividi, that literally means chills, one of the few Italian words I know. And it does rather give you chills watching it. What I really like about this song is that we saw Mahmood with Saudade, and that was a very emotional song for him about his father. And you've got us all out there clapping, and every time I hear it, I still want to clap at that moment. And this song, just very, very different. We go from Saudade to Brividi, this beautiful ballad, and I love that Mahmood is able to showcase himself in a different light. I do think he's incredibly talented. Like Sinan, I think he's just incredibly
So
beautiful,
creative.
but I think he's just very, very talented. I'm going to pause because
handsome.
William is apparently about to...
No, I just
interject.
love this comment. Nino Licata says, Italy has potential to win again. The hall will sing along to the whole song. That will be the moment when everyone gets Brividi. Hashtag Wiwibloggs love. We love you so much.
And
that's a good point.
And that's the
Yeah.
win for them, I think.
That's a good
They
point.
don't have to win the contest,
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I like the beach. I like the bikes.
beach.
Yeah, there was a beach. There were bikes. There were windmills. There was open road. And so then we've got. Am I reading about the right song? Shit. Hold on. Yeah.
No, you're
I am
yes,
reading
right.
about the right
Absolutely,
song.
yeah.
And so I talked about Mahmood. Let's talk about Blanco. So two just incredibly handsome, talented people.
Yes.
I think that their energy and the way they connect comes across really well. Don't know much about Blanco outside of the fact, that he's singing for Italy this year with Mahmood. But there was this one I think it was Vanity Fair cover I saw of the two of them.
Yeah.
And I didn't quite know how to take that. Like, I almost wish I had seen it after Eurovision, the two of them standing there naked, side by side, covering the big Ds. So, it's,
Between Achille Lauro, Mahmood, and Blanco, our girl has a thing for Italians.
We love
Fabio
Italian
from Portugal. My God, was it Fabio?
You mean your Badu app?
No, Fabio. Shit.
It's
Fucking person.
Who
2018?
sang?
2018?
Portugal, Italy.
Oh, Fabrizio.
Fabrizio.
Girl, Fabio is the long hair guy on the romance novels.
So, but no, think about it. I mean, Fabrizio, and then who do we have the next year? Mahmood.
You love Italian
And
men.
then
Yes.
God,
Måneskin, they're all just beautiful. I think I do like Italian men, although I have yet to cross paths with a beautiful Italian out here on the streets. That moment is coming, though.
That's because you hang out in the wrong parts of town,
That's because Diego did our booking, maybe.
Listen,
in the wrong
Liam
part of
Allen
town.
Lindsay, our friend, says, I don't see Italy winning or top 5 alongside Ukraine. The song is overrated and cloying. This year's contest will be decided by jury votes. If they are not in the top 4 with the jury, they won't win. Interesting.
So, long story short, I like this one of my favorites.
All right, it is time to go around and give our scores out of a 10 along with a forecast or prediction, starting with Jonathan.
I gave this a 6.5 out of 10, so it's one that I do like, even if it's not sort of a top favourite. But I do expect it to do very well. Definitely expecting top 10, if not pushing higher.
So my favorite part of this song is also one of my favorite moments of Eurovision. I think it's about 2 minutes in the bridge when Blanco gets very angry.
Yes.
He gets very aggressive. He's letting out his anger while Mahmood continues to sing, somewhat calmly and peacefully. And the contrast is amazing. This is an emotional crescendo. This is the climax of the song.
They are living it.
They are living it.
They are living
And they seem to be living different emotions. And often when couples fight or friends fight, that's because they're on different emotional wavelengths
Or
at that
siblings
moment.
fight.
And the love
The
is
friction.
still there.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
love while fighting.
So it's like the freedom they have to express their emotion suggests the closeness and intimacy of their relationship. I think it's a powerful moment. I gave this an 8.5. And I think I would actually put it higher because I keep hearing it in public. And every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, yes. Maybe it's because I'm in the Eurovision mood. I don't know. But I do think this is a contender to win. My gut tells me it's not going to win, but it's definitely up there. Yeah, we've seen this in the past. Italy does well, and this is a better entry than, in my mind. Like in the past decade, this is one of my favorite entries, along with Saudade from Italy.
Yes.
So I prefer
Don't forget
this.
last year's winner.
No, I prefer this to Zitti Abuni in terms of a studio cut. Staging, though, is where Måneskin really came to life because they're such good live performers. No, but this is probably my favorite Italian entry of the past decade since they came back.
No,
in
someone just
2011.
referenced Diodato. I really like
Oh,
Diodato.
shit. Actually, that's my number one. Farumore Queen.
And he will sing at this
love
year's
that.
Eurovision Song Contest.
That's amazing.
Well, he finally gets to make that Eurovision stage.
All right, Suzanne.
I gave Brividi a 7.
For you,
Wow,
that's amazing.
okay.
Where is this in your top 40?
Hold on, I'll tell you. It is number 5.
Okay,
you
taste.
You gave Italy 7 out of 10 and Germany 7.5. Girl. Girl.
Girl.
Girl.
Well, Germany is my number 4.
Okay.
All right.
Dash.
C9.
I gave it 9 out of 10.
Wow.
It's one of my favorite songs. And I'm going to listen to it after Eurovision as well because Mahmood is one of my favorite singers. I have his albums. Getolimpo, his latest album, is one of the best albums I have ever listened to. He's so creative and I'm excited to discover Blanco as well.
Now, we of course are not the only Wiwibloggs. There are dozens of us all over the world, and when we take the overall global average across all these countries from the United States to Australia to Spain via Italy, we get... Oh man, 7.69.
Oh.
That's low for me personally. 7.69. Jonathan, where does this finish in the final rankings across these jurors?
So they finished 7th overall.
Oh, the actual fuck.
So there were a few. There was a 4, a 5, a 5.5. So those sort of dragged it down slightly.
Interesting. We should point out that the Wiwi Jury, this is not predictive because whenever you have 20 people giving a score, it's gonna average out in a weird way. What matters is who loves you. So the 12, 10, 8 system, that's giving points to who you like. Our Wiwi scoreboard will be coming out in the next few days, and in that jury video, it's about an hour long. We do exactly that. It's not an average; it's a point system.
Bless you.
Bless.
Bless you.
And you will see that the results do change. All right, we're going to move on, but first some comments from you. Skonska says Blanco is a synonym of youth and uncertainty, whilst Mahmood shows that he has more life experience. Brian Huang says Italy brings quality.
Again.
Ouch. Alex talks about it. Living for when Brividi will end bottom 5.
What?
I don't see that happening. I really don't. Christian Coram says, without Big 5 rules, would Italy go to the final? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely, honey. All right, we're going to move on. The next country we are reviewing in this final live stream before rehearsals is Greece. Amanda Tenfjord.
Kalispera. Where's your phone?
Her spreadsheet, honey.
Oh, okay.
Greece, Die Together. This song starts out naked, completely raw, with just some electro backing, and then as it builds, Amanda sings about dying together. You know, she wrote this about the worst breakup she's ever experienced in her life, and she said there was a long period where she could do nothing else, so she wrote about it. She's very proud of this song. She says it's the best song she's ever written. She's been working in a COVID hospital throughout the pandemic. Yeah, she's training to be a doctor, so she's confronted death up close. She has seen human suffering, and I think she can feed that emotion into this song. You know, she said that Die Together doesn't have to be taken as a sad song. It could be about a couple making a decision to end their relationship together.
Romeo and Juliet?
Well, that's about suicide, which is dark, but I think she's being more metaphorical, kind of like we died together in the sense that our relationship dies, but we realize that each of us will move forward into a better place. So that is very, very powerful. We know she can sing live. She's got a folksy kind of bent to her. Her voice is awesome. I think frailty works. If she misses a note, it'll work with the song, you know? It's kind of like Cornelia Jakobs. This music doesn't have to be vocally perfect. It just has to be authentic. And she's going to surf that. I could go on and on. I really like this. I think it's quality. And I just pray for good staging. I think when Focus Evangelinos hits, he's amazing. Sometimes, like with Isel back in 2018, it's a little off the mark. But I wish them all the best. Jonathan.
Well, once I'd heard this for the first time, I was like, ooh, contender here. I really like this from the offset. I know I have given sort of 6-ish middling scores to a fair few ballads so far. I tend to enjoy ballads with a bit more power behind them, and particularly once we get to that final chorus and those notes that she's putting in there, I really resonate with those. They just hit you, and her voice just sort of comes through, and it's really wonderful to hear. There's lovely progression here from the start to the finish. The emotion is just sort of scintillating to just listen to. This is definitely one of my favourite ballads of the year. Really hoping that you know, Greece can pull off another at least top 10 results. Sort of bring them back to, you know, their heydays of sort of consistent top results. So yeah, really great entry from Greece this year.
Magda Sav, this is just in. Focus, the stage director, said that Amanda will be all alone on stage during a Greek TV show today.
Oh.
So intimacy, it seems, will be the order of the day.
That's a nice choice.
Pavel Todorov says, Greece's song is very philosophical and emotional. The song name reminds me of Elsie Bay's Death of Us. And Sister Forever, she says that the song sounds so Norwegian, and Sister would know that because Sister studies at the same university in Norway as Amanda. So there we go. Finally, Corin Huynh says, love how it's composed, love her voice. I just don't like the lyrics. Suzanne.
Let's see here.
Hey, Naruto.
Where's Grace? Okay.
Oh, while you're thinking, Oliver Adams, a Wiwiblogger, says, love the Imogene Heap vocoder intro, gorgeous notes. The song makes excellent use of silence, a very underrated tool some countries could make use of. Poland, for example. All right. Suzanne.
So this song reminds me of another song, only I could not remember which song it was, and it's not a Eurovision song. So maybe at some point someone will tell me what this song reminds them of. Okay. I got the feeling that we've got like a disjointed relationship going on, and throughout the pandemic, you know, people either came together or were torn apart. So it's rather timely from that perspective. I think that Amanda has a beautiful voice. I thought it was rather sweet that it's the end of a relationship, yet she's still going back and she's remembering the special and happy moments. So, you know, William referenced dying together, not necessarily being bad, but we die and are reborn into a new relationship. And I'll just say that, you know, she's talking about a relationship of hers that had the hardest ending. And a lot of times the end of a relationship does seem like a death in and of itself. And we do go through the mourning process. But I think Amanda has a beautiful voice. It's, you know, not one of my favorites, but not one of my bottoms. Really just kind of middle of the road for me. All right, that's all I got. Who's up next? Scene on.
It's me. I just want to say, Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ, Amanda, for that beautiful, gorgeous, well thought, well produced, well sung, and well presented song. Slagapaopoli, so much. You are amazing. And I am it's really interesting to me. I was expecting like, well, since last year, Greece started to sending not like songs without ethno vibes. Or did Stefania had
It was 80s kind of. It wasn't
yes, and the fuck girl, and which is very interesting because when you hear Greece, you expect ethno sound music at Eurovision, and this song is so different. I think that's why it's really unique to Greece, and imagine winning and going to Greece. Oh, that would be amazing.
Oh my god, I would love that so much.
Like eating all the.
I'm not coming back from Greece.
Can you just? I just said Greece would have the most enthusiastic Eurovision ever because Greeks love Eurovision so much. The passion, the food would be amazing. The weather.
Oh.
I went to Thessaloniki for a schizophrenia conference. I had the best time of my life. It was lit. People were partying. People were vibing. The food was delicious.
They literally live
life. They live life.
They live life.
They
And
really
so, again, ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ, Amanda. Love you so much, Slagapaopoli. πολύ.
All right, Jonathan, it is time to go around and give our scores for Greece out of a 10 and a justification. Shoot.
My score is an 8 out of 10. This is in my top 10 for this year. It's a wonderful ballad, and I can definitely see this bringing up some big points for Greece.
My score was a 9. This is one of my favorites of the year. This is quality. She's not done any pre-parties, and I think it's an interesting strategy. It's kind of like fly under the radar, don't let expectations get too high, then show up in Torino and absolutely slay. We will...
You don't have to go to the party.
No, Loreen didn't go to pre-parties. I don't think Emily DeForest did either, did she?
I don't remember,
but Loreen definitely didn't.
Italy didn't go as well, like Mahmood.
Yeah, I mean, he has his real tour, like his, European tour. Not in any case. A lot will be decided during that first rehearsal. I think we'll have a sense of whether this will live up to its expectations, which are super high. I'm so excited for Greece. They work really hard every year, and this year it's all coming together. So it's beautiful to see. Suzanne.
5.5.
5.5.
Yeah.
Where is it in your top 40?
In my top 40, it's 22.
22.
This woman.
No, I respect all opinions. Oliver gave it a 9. He says it's a deserving winner.
Yes.
Oh, Magda says, thank you guys. She said she had to study for her exams because she's in her final year of medical school. So that's why she wasn't on the pre-party tour. Fair. One World Music says he prefers the ethnic Greek entries. Sinan.
I gave Amanda's song 8.5 out of 10. It's actually another song that I don't listen every day and don't listen like everywhere. But when I play the Eurovision playlist, I'm like, just relax and listen to that beautiful, gorgeous Greek Norwegian song, which is
fantastic.
Amanda.
Well, we are not the only Wiwibloggers. There are dozens of us all over the world, and when we take the overall average across all these people, ranging in age from 18 to over 60, shout out to Devin Adarumi, the score we get is 7.88.
Yeah.
So Jonathan, getting up towards an 8 is very difficult. Where did this finish overall with the Wiwi Jury?
Greece finishes 5th overall with the Wiwi Jury.
Wow.
So Suzanne's 5.5 was the lowest score. There were a couple of 10s in there. So
People
really responded.
You
to
fucked
this.
up.
Imagine that. Girl, why are you airdropping me photos while I'm trying to do the video? All right. We move on. The next country, we only have 3 remaining, and then we're done with all of these videos. Praise Jesus, hallelujah. It's been a long 2 days.
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Okay, listen. We turn to the Netherlands. Esteen, S10.
Another song about that.
The song De Diepte. You make a good point. A lot of these songs are very sad. It'll be interesting to see which of the sad songs rise to the top. This is, of course, about the difficult past that S10 has had. She's been very open about living with auditory hallucinations, dealing with depression when she was a teenager. And in an interview, she told me she's learned she cannot just shut these things away. She must accept that they're a part of her and that she must indeed celebrate these facets of her personal history, which have made her who she is. She told me a funny story that one day when she was in school, they told her she was going to fail an exam and that she would have to wait something like 10 days in order to get the results. And she said that was taking her to this dark place where she knew she was about to snap. So instead of getting stressed out, she booked a plane ticket to Ibiza. She went to Ibiza and wrote down everything about herself that makes her feel ashamed, everything that makes her feel bad. She wrote things down that scare her, and then she decided to confront them. So for instance, she loves going to the beach, and she wanted to be in a floaty, a really gaudy floaty, but she was embarrassed to do that. So she told me that she bought the tackiest pink flamingo floaty she could find, like a sunbed, and she floated on that water. And isn't that nice? And what she learned from that was that it's okay to do things you're afraid of, because afterwards she was absolutely fine. Long story short, this song is
anxiety.
This song nods to her anxiety. It actually celebrates in a weird way the bad things that happened because they've made her stronger. If you didn't guess, I love this. I think it's beautiful. You don't have to speak Dutch or know any of that backstory to feel the growth and evolution that the artist has been through. She doesn't need complicated staging. She doesn't. She just needs to stand there and sing the song. I think she's going to do very well. Final point for me, this actually won the Wiwibloggs poll for semi-final 1. There were 15,000 votes cast, and she won by a good margin over second place Greece and third place Albania. Our readers love her. Reading the comments on YouTube, you guys love her. And I can tell you that William Lee Adams, this girl loves her too, Jonathan.
I'm not sure if I'm going to continue the abundance of love.
Shade button.
When I first heard this, I will be honest, my first reaction was, oh, is that it? I didn't pick up on any form of hook. Nothing stuck with me during that first listen. And it just didn't resonate with me for whatever reason. I got into it a bit more when I saw Esteen's first live performance with all those lasers and everything. And I felt there was more contrast there between the verses and the chorus, and I could see her changing levels a bit more and giving some more emotion in there. But yeah, I I feel like with all these scores now, you've probably realised that sort of linear ballads are not necessarily my thing. I like a bit more progression in there to sort of reach some sort of climax, and this is a bit one note for me at times. So yeah, sorry.
Hey, nothing to apologize for.
Yeah,
I celebrate your history. I celebrate your scores. And I turn to Suzanne Adams, who's moving to the mic.
All right. We spent a lot of time in the Netherlands over the last couple of years. Song has a soft sound. It's as though she's lost in a dream. It's a really pretty ballad. You can tell that she's reminiscing. I love the backstory on the song now that I've heard it. I love the whole concept of really just confronting your fears. It's one of those move on songs that I called out, but I love that what she is moving on from is, her own self-deprecation, her own fear, and I think that that's just such a beautiful thing. I rated this one relatively high for me.
C9.
It's very interesting, when you are when you write a song during a difficult time like that. I feel like every song written like that is a quality song. It's an amazing song, like for example Victoria 2020 and last year Tears Getting Sober and Growing Up is Getting Old. It's like, they have like a similar theme, like dark art pop. And I also love that that part sometimes I feel like they didn't succeed to put a good lyrics there. Maybe that's why they put only da da da. And then I remember the last year France also had that kind of lyrics, right?
Barbara Pravi?
Yes. Da 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 da.
Yeah, I think that connoted a certain, turbulence in her life, and it really reflected the mood.
It's a really clever thing to do. I think it's not that they didn't have nice lyrics to put on these parts. So and that girl Estine, is that her real name? Like Estine?
Her name is Steen, and S comes from Steen, and Tien means 10. So when she was 16, she just said S10. I actually want to interject. Victor Santos says the only thing I don't like about the song are the na 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 nas she sings before the chorus. It completely kills my vibe. Wish they were proper lyrics.
Interesting. And she sings really good live. Like she doesn't. There were performances. I think it was on The Voice, I guess, with all the lights, all the laser lights. That was a beautiful staging. If we see that on the Eurovision stage, I think that will be a beautiful staging.
Now I want to read a comment from Oliver Adams, Wiwiblogger. I can imagine this flopping like Cynic. It doesn't deserve to flop. It deserves to go through, but of all the easy listening songs, this one's harder to get into. This is superior to Cynic's song, I think. I think this is less generic. Suzanne?
Yeah, that's right.
What are you doing? Badu is busy tonight.
No,
Let's just say, back that Badu up.
What about
honey.
Grindr?
All right, look, we
I
need
don't
to
grind
go
her.
around
I'm
now
straight.
and give our scores out of a 10, along with a prediction, focusing on Estine and not our Grinder or our Badu or whatever else is going through your head, because we only have 3 songs left and we got to wrap this up. Because some people have to take public transport tonight, and I do worry for their safety. Jonathan.
Some of us have to play on Badu and Grinder.
This is a 6 out of 10 for me. So it's one of those where I do like it, but it's just not one of my major favourites. There's been comparisons to Blanche from Belgium,
so much better.
and I again was not a massive fan of City Lights. But considering that came fourth, then maybe there is potential in here for the Netherlands to do really well. So it's hard for me to predict when it is just not my sort of song.
My score is a 9.
Wow.
I think this is amazing. I really like this. In Amsterdam, I just thought she was mesmerizing on stage. I think she doesn't have to do much. When you talk to her, she's very centered and grounded and calm.
Peaceful.
Yeah, you can watch our interview on the Wiwibloggs YouTube channel. She breathes, she does. But, unlike Montenegro's Vladana, who kind of screams after breathing, Estine just breathes. It's peaceful, it's mindful, I don't know, I just like her vibe. I like the song. I think she's going to look amazing. She has, of course, I've forgotten the name of the designers, Victor and Rolf. Yes, the Dutch designers. They've made her what she's compared to a piece of art. So to see her wearing this art will be a moment. I wish her all the best. I don't see this winning the Eurovision Song Contest. I think it will do really well with the juries. I do wonder how the public will react to the Dutch language. She makes Dutch sound beautiful. I think in daily conversation, when we were in Rotterdam and heard Dutch, we were all sometimes taken aback because it can be a harsh language to a foreign ear. I mean no shade. I'm just, what it triggers. But she makes it beautiful, so congratulations. Suzanne.
6.5 out of 10. It's going through. I hope.
I made a mistake in my points for the Wiwi Jury scoreboard. In any case, we'll discuss that later.
You did not.
Sina.
You said something about that.
Netherlands. Steen.
No,
About not winning the
no.
contest because of
Dutch.
Yes. I think we passed that time. Like last year,
That's true.
Ukraine, Italy,
Switzerland.
yes, like
France.
like
No, I take your
non-English
point.
songs slayed at Eurovision.
Well, those languages did. Serbia, for instance.
They slayed. They came ninth with the televote.
Oh, okay, snap, touche.
Woo! So my points are 8.5 out of 10. I think this is a gorgeous song, gorgeous dark song, and I wish her a lot of success. She already has success, actually. I wish her more success and impactful Eurovision experience.
We, of course, are not the only Wiwibloggers. There are dozens of us all over the world, including in the Netherlands, last year's host country. And when we take the overall average across all these people, I have a feeling we're going to get a pretty massive score. Woo! The overall average is...
Tell us.
Wow, 8.13. This is the first song so far to get a score above an 8. Jonathan, would that put it in the lead at this point?
At this point of the ones that we've covered, yes, it is in the lead. It is definitely difficult to get above an 8. It would be very unheard of to even push towards a 9. In previous years gone by, the 8 is sort of the level that you want to be sort of hitting, really. So it's a good sign, actually.
This is huge. Lynn says, I'm worried Estine will flop on the televote like Eugene did. Teddy thinks, I think the public will react in a good way to the language because it's something different. Anna Laura gives it a 10 out of a 10. Victor says Dutch sounds like a mix of German and English to me.
Kinda.
And Kanska says harmonies is what will win this year. I was looking at something else. Forgive me. And
Okay.
all right, well look, this is exciting. We only have 2 countries left to review. There are only 2 countries that could possibly beat the Netherlands with the Wiwi Jury this year. I'll go ahead and preview it. We're going to review Spain and then we're going to review Sweden. Only one of these 3 queens can win the Wiwi Jury 2022. We are now going to take them in turn. I feel like I should stretch for this, but we are turning to SloMo, to Chanel Tarrero from Spain via Cuba. Now, I used this line in my review, but I'm going to use it again. In her In the social media sphere, Chanel's fans use the mango emoji. That's the mango to refer to her. It's juicy, it's sweet, it's delicious. But if I was choosing an emoji, I would choose the chili pepper because our girl is hot. Our girl is fire.
mango.
You watch her performance, it burns your retina. You get it on your hand, you touch your face, you're gonna regret it. This is so full of capsicum. I need yogurt and milk to suck up the heat. What I love about this, the song, yes, it's a very good song. It was my number 2 in Benidorm Fest. I've always loved the song. However, what makes this special is the production. This production is Hollywood ready. She does things with her body that I did not know people could do with their body. At various points, her foot is above her head. Honestly, it's just crazy. She knows how to work every inch of the body. We talk about popping and locking. She pops part of her body that I didn't know you could pop. It's all very tasteful. It kind of toes the line between being very, very provocative, almost X-rated, and being classy. Kind of like burlesque sped up. The flexibility, the effects, the slow-mo effect, the black and white. This is everything. My dear husband, who musically is very conservative, he loves Renaissance choral music. I played him all of the entries, and this was his favorite.
Really?
This was his favorite.
Okay.
This was his favorite. He said,
He has taste.
he said,
We
oh,
love
darling,
husband.
she gets jiggy with it. And I was like, yes, honey, she does. This is just, it's got the populist quality. You need a populist quality. And this is something everyone can access. The reggaeton makes it trendy and timeless. Reggaeton from Cuba, Latin America. It's real. She is from Cuba. So she's not just plucking a genre out of thin air. She's plucking a genre that kind of plays to her past and indeed her future. She goes to Cuba all the time. Long story short, I could see this doing very, very well with both the juries and the televoters. And I appreciate Sinan's musical singing. We're going to come
Julia
to
being here to
y'all.
serenade.
We're going to Jonathan first. Jonathan.
This was a jaw drop moment at Benidorm Fest. It was like supported splits, lift, dance break. It was just like, what on earth is happening in front of my eyes? And I loved absolutely every second of it. I was like, as soon as it finished, it was like,
Wow.
that's the one. That is the one.
She is the one.
It's so like the studio cuts is a decent enough pop song. It does get slightly repetitive in terms of that regard, but adding in that dance break for the live performance transforms the song so much. And just gives it new life, and she is such a great performer. Like, being able to do all of that while still deliver good vocals. You know, she's not the greatest vocalist out of the entire competition, but you were not expecting Chanel to be with having to do all that dance moves. And it's good enough that, you know, I don't think juries can knock her down for having bad vocals in amongst all of that. So yeah, this is such redemption for Spain. Like, after what they have been through over recent years.
Blas is
Especially last
amazing.
year.
I
especially
love
last
Blas.
year. You
He
do,
just
but
become
he got
bottom
0
five.
points.
Bottom five.
Look, we've got.
Oh, let's quickly shout out to Yusif. Thank you for your donation. We really
Yusif,
appreciate
thank
that.
you.
It helps
Yusif
us
from
pay
Turkey.
our server. He says, slay it, girl. She's an icon. She's a legend. She is the moment.
Now, come on now.
Let's add she is the future as well, because this girl has a beautiful career. Jonathan, on your vocal point, it's really interesting. She sang the acoustic, and I love how she made booty hypnotic sound so romantic. That is her power. Please, sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. There have been a fair few comparisons, I guess, to Eleni Ferreira, who delivered Fuego. I don't know if there's a controversial opinion, but to me...
I see only 2 fire ladies. That's the comparison.
Emilia Clarke in Game of Thrones, and Chanel. Oh wait, sorry, I completely messed that up. Sorry.
What the
Sorry.
What the
Listen, João Pedro said people say the
Queen-
juries won't like this, but I
Queen of
think it could
Dragons.
be as high with them as Toy and Fuego were
I
in
agree.
2018.
Yeah.
You've got to remember, these jurors, music professional is a very loose term. Actually, you have had choreographers on the BBC's UK jury, for instance, the year I think Georgia came first. Like, there are people from different parts of the entertainment industry, not just vocal coaches, not just singers. It's many different people. So I do think juries will get behind this.
Yeah, the point I was going to make was that I actually think that Chanel's performance of SloMo is better than Eleni's performance of Fuego.
From a dance perspective, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a more captivating routine and a captivating performance overall. So, you know, if Eleni can come second, I can absolutely see Chanel reaching that, if not getting up to that top spot.
Okay, can we pause and let Suzanne make all this? What are you doing, babe? Do what you need to do.
She needs to hydrate.
She's making a martini, and you know,
this drama.
it's kind of...
A martini with sparkling water.
Yes?
All right, so once she's done with her fizz, Jonathan can finish.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty much done. Yeah,
Thank you
I've
so
I've
much.
done a lot of love for Chanel.
Can I say one other thing? I think that 2018 was a more competitive year than 2022. So Eleni did have like more of an uphill climb. I think this, like, what are the other upbeat dance songs that can challenge SloMo? Can you please name what you think? What upbeat songs can challenge SloMo? I'm really struggling.
Albania?
That's a good one. It is good. That's good. But I think that SloMo is more accessible to a broader audience than Albania. I love Albania. There's so many sad girl songs this year. Sweden, Greece, in a way Armenia. Who else?
Netherlands.
The Netherlands. So, you know, Chanel coming through with some matches, pulling her own Eleni.
She's like, stop crying, bitch. Go and dance.
Quickly. Segue to you. Corin Hohen says
Subway. They have
choreography
nice sandwiches.
choreography by Kyle Hanagami, I think so good. He of course is a legendary K-pop choreographer
He's the best.
who Sinan has met.
He worked with Jennifer Lopez, Britney Spears, Alicia Keys. What? Like, he's so talented. And he's going to do the staging as well. So, oh my gosh. Like,
Sinan, please tell us, will there be a new dance break in Chanel's SloMo?
I don't know.
I heard a rumor, and this is actually, I'm not even going to say it, because if I say a rumor, then people take it as fact. But like, I'm not yet sure which version of SloMo she's singing on the stage. Do you have any insight?
The acoustic version?
No, she ain't singing the acoustic.
Hey, we love the acoustic.
There are
right?
different mixes of her song, and she has to choose which one to sing. Okay, Sinan, your review.
Yes. So I want to teach you guys the choreography of SloMo. Can we do, like, make this like that, and then go up, then down, and then just feel like SloMo again. Take a video, watch SloMo, more. One more time. Take a video, watch SloMo, more. That choreography is one of the most iconic choreographies like Eurovision has ever had. Do you agree? Do you agree?
That's amazing. Now, Suzanne, your legs appear to be coming out of Sinan. What is going on?
She's
You can
inside
see my
me.
legs on the. Oh.
Like, I see some booty hypnotic. Wait.
Booty hypnotic, pick one more. So yeah, Spain. That song is my favorite song of all. This is my top 12 points. She has the whole package. Spain this year has the whole package. Like, she has the charisma. She's so kind. She's so cool. She's so funny. And she's so sexy. She's so she has been in the music. She played musicals. She's an actress, Jim Tony girl. Hey, she's a great dancer. She's a great singer. She's a great performer. She's a great artist. Like, she's like a star is born. Literally, A Star Is Born.
Two quick things. One, Ava says the delegation of Spain say that they're going to change a lot of the choreography, not all, so there will be something fresh. I want to shout out to Super Chat user James Allen. Thank you so much for your donation. That's very kind of you. James Allen asks, Suzanne, girl, are you good?
She is good. She's very, very handsome.
I'm good.
Well,
Handsome girl.
Cameron Clark follows up and says, Suzanne looks drunk.
Okay, you guys had dinner
With
with me.
sparkle water, yeah.
I am not drunk.
And Callie Tally says, Spain and Israel are both tired. Both songs are pure copycats of what has been sent already so many times before.
Are we talking about the same year? Maybe he said another year or something. So yeah, Chanel is everything.
I think Vanya Lubitsch expresses a sentiment I've seen a lot on Twitter and social media. The song doesn't bang for me, but she elevates the song with her awesomeness. And I agree. I do love the song, but she takes that higher. Our interview from Amsterdam is perhaps my favorite interview we've ever published because she is a light. She is so funny. She is so able to respond to her environment. You know, Subwoolfer walk up. Urs from Romania walk up, and she just slays with her beautiful heart. She can sing. She can stretch. Again, in that interview, her leg is above her head. And I'm sitting here with my mic
She's
girl.
very easy to reach. Like, sometimes it's hard to reach an artist for an interview. Like, when you talk with them, it's, you know, you want to reach that artist, and she's so reachable. And she's just... a diamond.
She's a beautiful person. Honestly, of all the people we've met this year, she's among the warmest, the most giving with her time, when she has the right to be a diva. Now, Suzanne, could you please return from La La Land and discuss your thoughts about Chanel Torero from Spain via Cuba?
Yeah, so I'm looking for where it is on the screen. When I first looked at this song, I felt like I was having an Eleni Ferreira moment, to go back to how Jonathan opened us up. There was something about the initial hair flip I saw.
Oh, you did that off screen.
There was something about the hair. I can't get on screen. Hair flip. Okay, I think I got a hair flip on screen. There was something about...
And I think I got some lice on my arm.
Something about that initial hair flip that was very Eleni-like. And I've watched it more than once. The first time I watched it, I didn't love it. The second time I watched it, I really liked it a little bit more. It's pop. It's fun. Chanel herself is stunning. I love the sequin bodysuit and the boots. It's a perfect song that's hip hop for the club. The meaning of the song, you know, the lyrics aren't necessarily deep, but as we've talked about, the lyrics don't have to be deep for a song
Can I
to be
ask you
good.
something? Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Chanel told us in the Amsterdam interview that the lyrics are meant to empower women. She wants to show herself as strong and confident. Do you take that message from the song, which mentions poppies, etc.?
I'd have to go back and look at the lyrics, so I will answer that for you at some point later. But the whole bootylicious, is that the word we were talking about earlier?
Yes.
Booty hypnotic.
Booty hypnotic. I gotta tell you, everybody wants, every girl, well, these days, every girl wants a peach-shaped bum, right? We're doing squats, we're doing lunges, we want Chanel's bum, and booty hypnotic is what we're all going for. So when my ass feels tight, when I've had some good workouts in the gym, yes, I feel empowered. But I will answer the question about the empowerment later.
Konska says Suzanne leg is also above her head.
Well, I was lying down, but Chanel clearly does. She's flexible and she's strong.
Oh
Perhaps
yes,
she
she's
does
very
yoga.
flexible. Te amo tanto,
Lil Catherine says, unpopular opinion, I love Chanel and her performance slays, but I think Get That Wolf a Banana is a better dance song.
That's fair.
Quick question, guys. Spain or Norway? Jonathan. And also you readers, Spain or Norway?
Spain.
For
Why
me,
Spain or Norway?
because Lil Catherine is a fan of the Wolves. She's from Norway. She's a beautiful person, and I want to answer her question. I say Spain, but I do love Norway as well. But for me, Spain is a little bit better. Suzanne.
Norway.
Okay, you agree with Lil Catherine. And Sinan?
España.
Okay, but you also like
Did
Norway.
Lily Catherine was
James
Spain, right?
Allen says tight P or B. I'm assuming
D.
B.
No, tight, sorry.
Oh, booty hypnotic. B?
Okay, I'm not even
P,
touching that one.
Puss and
But
Buzz.
someone just asked me if my blood moon was rising, which is quite timely because I just got a text message from Devin,
no.
who we're still trying to
no.
figure out if Devonize is coming to Italy or not.
All right, you guys, it is time to go around and give our scores out of a 10, along with a justification for Spain, Chanel, SloMo, starting with Jonathan.
So I gave this an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
As I've said previously, I did lean towards studio cuts when doing the songs, just so that it was a slightly more even playing field. I do think if I was going to judge this based on live performances, it might be higher. So definitely see Spain in the contention to win, which is not something we have said in about 10 years. So that's really exciting to see.
So this song, or rather this performance, is one that I could watch over and over again.
Do you remember when we reacted to it?
Oh.
The first time?
I literally,
Oh my
I
gosh.
got up at 6 a.m. for work. I phoned Sinan and I said, you need to watch the Spanish performance. You're going to die. And so he got out of bed. We filmed in our bathrobes remotely.
Literally.
And she's just epic. Every time I see this, I want to watch the whole thing. I wait for the dance break. I wait for the lift. I want to see her remove the coat, the jacket, whatever covering she's on.
You just want to see her remove it all.
I want to see her show us what booty hypnotic means. And this is hypnotizing.
What Chanel means.
It makes me smile. It's a big slice of joy and also a slice of awe because I'm like, how is she doing that? You know, the simple move where they're all on the floor and they get up one leg at a time, doing sort of like what do you call it? Like a leg dip, and they get up, doon, 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 doon. It's so simple, but it's so effective. It's just fantastic. I think that even Jennifer Lopez would blush at some of this choreography. It's that hot, that piquant. I'm talking about all those chili peppers, Scotch bonnet, jalapeno, you name it. This song to me is a perfect production. So the song is excellent, but the production takes it out of this world. I gave this a perfect 10. This is my first 10 of the year. I really wish Spain and Chanel all the best. Can you imagine Eurovision in Spain? The joy, the happiness. People would be losing their S to the H to the I to the T. It would be 2 weeks of bliss, and I would love to see this happen. I've never been to Benidorm. If Benidorm gave the world Chanel for Eurovision, then we can go and give Benidorm some coins during Eurovision 2023. I wish her all the best. I thank her for being such a light. I hope to see her again here in Torino. I'm going to stop talking and pass this on to Suzanne.
You know, the Spanish fans and the Spanish media and the Spanish delegation, they are some of my favorites. And so I second that on how much fun we would have if we were all in Spain. I feel like we would all be so welcomed. And it would just be a bright, happy, shiny moment. I gave Spain a 5.
What?
After all that.
You just hyped this to the moon and back, and you gave it a 5?
I gave it a 5.
The narrative does not match the score.
I gave it a 5.
What would it take for you to give Chanel a 10? What's missing? I'm just curious.
It's probably just going to take a little more time.
For your booty to get hypnotic?
You know, it took me 7 years before I was able to start rounding out my ass of working out with a personal trainer. But,
What was your ass before it was
it was
rounded
a flat
out?
Asian ass.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. It used to be. Okay. Anyway,
Can I tell y'all a secret about Suzanne? In her home gym, there's a portrait of her tooching her booty, looking over her shoulder in workout gear, showing out her former bodylifting physique, because she was a what did you call it? Bodybuilder.
Weightlifting.
She was like doing bodybuilding competitions. And so when she was in peak form, eating only chicken, no salt, no pepper, just chicken and some broccoli, her body was in a different state. I won't say a better state. I'll just say a different state. And she's preserved her own booty hypnotic in her home gym. Is the photo still there?
yes, of course it is. I will just comment that no one my height, 5'7", should weigh 112 pounds. I do believe that someone told me that my friends and myself looked a little bit masculine in each of these competitions and just really didn't particularly like the look. Anyway, moving on. I gave it a 5. Yeah, a 5. Okay, let's go.
So at Wiwi Jury, we removed the highest point and the lowest song.
I believe mine was the lowest on this.
Because what was that?
Bias. Potential bias.
That's why I went strategic. I gave it a 9 point out of 10 just because I didn't want that song to be, I didn't want my score to be removed. So, yes.
Thank you, Joe Crook. You are amazing. All right. Well, here... Anne Eam. So Anne Eam, I believe she's in Germany. I follow Anne Eam on TikTok. She does lots of nice covers of Eurovision songs. She actually won the Wiwi giveaway last year, I believe. Did you get tickets to Eurovision? Or was it merchandise the year before? I just know you've won a competition in the past, and I follow you on TikTok, and you absolutely slay. And Frankie M, thank you so much for your kind comments. We really, really appreciate that.
He has
a request. Frankie wants Sinan to sing SloMo one more time.
Frankie, those shoulders, that chest, baby.
Frankie's very handsome.
Frankie, what is your Instagram? We want to look you up.
Okay, Sinan, are you going acoustic?
Signore, signore, sempre I still forgot that. Take a video, watch a SloMo. Booty hypnotic, make it one more. Oh, take a video, watch a SloMo. Yeah.
That was for you, Frankie. Thank you so much.
Frankie, we're still waiting on your Instagram because we want to see more pictures of your shoulders and your chest.
And by that, Suzanne means she would like to see more photos.
And I think Sinan would also. So yes, please, Frankie, give us your Instagram.
Suzanne, I know when you're on the prowl.
And I just, hold on, someone at Konska Portia asks a question. William, are you engaged?
Yes.
I actually walked William down the aisle when he got married.
Is very engaging. I'll just leave it at that.
They are my beautiful, brilliant boys.
Very engaging. All right. We are not the only Wiwibloggs. There are dozens of Wiwibloggs all around the world, and they have also evaluated all 40 songs.
Being only 4 people.
I said 40.
No. You said we are not the only.
Oh yeah.
Right now we're down to 55, but we're gonna grow that after Eurovision season.
Listen, hunties. The overall global average is. This is unbelievable. 8.91.
Yeah.
Now, Jonathan Votri, Wiwi Jury Overseer, can you please give some context about how difficult this is?
Oh my gosh.
It's getting close to a 9 is getting into one of the highest Wiwi Jury scores ever. I was just sort of like going through sort of previous years. We've had 8.9s for Francesco Gabbani. Duncan Lawrence got a 9.1, which was exceptionally high. But in other years, 2020, the highest was an 8.1. In 2021, last year, the highest was an 8.7. So pushing towards 8.9, getting towards that 9, it is one of the highest ever.
That's amazing. Chanel, congratulations. Spain, congratulations. Spain is our current leader with just one song remaining. Knock Spain off the top of the Wiwi Jury chart. Before we go there, we are going to read some of your comments. James Allen says, take a shot every time William says we are not the only Wiwibloggers. Let's just say Suzanne started listening early and our girl is toasted. World Sasuri says, really love all this. Love this live stream. Thank you so much. You're so kind. Sinan's cover of SloMo was so good. He's going platinum. And James Allen, again, says trophy goes to Spain. All right.
Hopefully.
You guys, it is now time for us to turn to the final country, Sweden. Cornelia
Hey.
Jakobs. Now, let me kick this off by saying This, to me, is the best song of the year. Not necessarily the best production, but to me, this is my favorite song of the year. What I love is that in the past, Sweden has been too perfect, too plastic, too polished, or it sounds like the song came out of a pop factory, an artificial intelligence machine. Very good, however, there was a lack of soul. This year with Cornelia Jakobs, we have the polish, we have the finish, but we also have her gritty voice. At times there are warbles, there's vulnerability, and indeed imperfection, but this type of song works so well in that context. The way she emotes comes through. She's telling you a story. She found the right one at the wrong time. A lot of people understand that idea. It's just really, really touching, really emotional. And I think she delivers it absolutely perfectly. She doesn't need to have any fancy choreo. I like that she's on the floor. I like that she stands up. She hits the thing behind her, the screen. There's subtle movement. She looks great. She sounds great. I think this is a real contender to win the Eurovision Song Contest 2022 in Torino, Italy. Juries will love this. I hope that the public will love this as well. We saw that she did win the OJE fan poll, so at least she has a certain segment of the voting population. Final point, a lot of comparisons to Shallow. I don't think this is plagiarism, but what I think is similar is that it's an emotional story of folk pop, right? It marries an emotional story with folk pop, and that's why it works. That's not plagiarism. That's slaying a genre. Jonathan.
I've been on a bit of a journey with this song. When I first heard the snippet that was released during like the Melfest rehearsals, I was like, I'm not sure if this is going to be for me. And then she performed in the semi-final. I was like, okay. And then every time after that I've seen it or I've heard it, I've just grown in love with this song more and more and more, to the point where I will just burst out in the middle of the kitchen singing, "Hold me closer," and it's really gripped me now, and it's just got a really warm embrace to it. Cornelia's vocals are, as you said, like they're really raw, and I really love that about it. Really marries itself well with this song. You know, I think if she had pitch perfect vocals, we'd be then back towards the Swedish plastic pop factory sort of thing. The raw aspect to that is really lovely to hear, and yeah, it's really grown into one of my favorites now, and I can definitely see why. To begin with, I was like, I don't quite understand all the hype behind this, and then just more and more and more I was like, no, yeah, I really do understand the hype and just why this is so beloved, and it definitely deserves to be well towards the top of the leaderboard come the grand final.
Thank you so much for that beautiful description. Joanne Gibbs Coach, she says, my winner this year, so emotional, and Cornelia's vocal fits with the song to perfection, raw and powerful. Love this. Shuckle25 says, I'm the same as Jonathan. It was okay at first, but now is my number one easily. Teddy says that Closer was gorgeous. Roland Max says Sweden better win because this American needs to have a reason to visit Sweden next year in May. Yes, Hunty. And Konska Porcha says I feel some Lana Del Rey vibes with Hold Me Closer. Now, Suzanne Adams, I know you've been on a real journey, so do tell us, where has that journey led you with Sweden?
After listening to it multiple times.
Is that a move on song?
It is a move on song. Yep,
Okay.
It's a move on song. Right now, as you guys will hear when I list my top 40, well, you know, it's probably going to come in number one, right? Because this song just has so much meaning and so much significance, and it is sung from the heart. It's almost as though she's trying to change someone's mind. It's a little cliche, it's a little cheesy, but at the same time, there's just so much meaning. She looks kind of happy talking about her heart.
Sorry, apologies. Best Cams Fun Hot Girls and Boys video chat. You are not welcome in this conversation. and we have blocked you from our channel. So go put your porn spam somewhere else.
Hey, we love to watch.
I wonder what led that spam porn bot here. Could it have been earlier conversations? Please continue.
So let me just continue here. So anyway, there's some cliche and kind of cheesy stuff about this song, but I love the song. Hold me closer, even though you'll be gone before the sun rises. Hold me one last time. Finding the right one at the wrong time, and I think that we've probably all been through moments with individuals who we thought could have been the right one at the wrong time. And, I think I said it earlier, it's just because they very simply weren't the right one. And that's why it didn't work out, because there's something that's just that much better for you out there. Nonetheless, I feel this song. It touches my heart. It has risen to be my number one.
I want to read this comment from Alexis Wieselen. This song is resonating so much with me. My boyfriend that I met 9 months ago is going back to his country in 2 months, and this song just breaks my heart just thinking about it.
Alexis.
We are so sorry that you met the right one at the wrong time.
But you know what? I don't think that he has to be the right one at the wrong time because he's leaving. My brother met my brother-in-law in college.
The wrong one at the right
the right. Anyway, you guys know what I meant. My brother met my brother-in-law in college. William being from Atlanta, Georgia. My brother-in-law being from the British countryside. It lasted. They persevered. My father met my mother in the middle of a war in Vietnam. He left. My Aunt Louise took care of getting my mother migrated to America. And I don't think distance should matter when it's true love, like my beautiful, brilliant boys or my precious mother and father. So, Alexis, if he's the one, then don't let the distance stop you. Don't let this be the end of it. Or maybe he is the right one at the wrong time, which means he's just not the right one. Either way, my heart hurts for you, because your heart is hurting. But don't let distance be what stops you, because true love knows no distance. True love knows no bounds.
Thank you so much for those beautiful words. And off the back of that, talking about our personal story, I just want you to know you can read more about our family's personal story in my forthcoming book, Wild Dances, a memoir of love, loss, and the Eurovision Song Contest. I'm just pasting the link to the publisher's email updates in the chat. That is right there. Book updates and link. I would be so happy if you guys would just right-click, open in a new window.
I'm just going to interrupt him and say, if you want to learn to get your foot up over your head, please follow Suzanne Adams Yoga on YouTube. Right now, I think there's about 47 evergreen
James Allen
videos. Follow me on YouTube. Watch my yoga classes. Buy his book.
Thank you so much. The link is in the description and in this chat.
For my yoga page?
No, there's a funny comment. James Allen says, Suzanne, what's the inspiring meeting story behind the vaginal surgeon?
There is no inspiring story. It's getting late. This is our last song. James Allen, you're going to be with us over the next couple of weeks. Be sure to ask that question again when we've got some downtime on a live stream, and I will be happy to answer the question. It really is kind of a funny story.
My mother would say, you could have got a discount, girl. All right, C9.
Does mom think I need vaginal reconstruction?
No, but it was funny because basically a funeral home director recently came on to my sister. And
our brother died, as you all know.
And then the funeral home director calls her afterwards like, hey, do you want to get a coffee? Do you want to go out?
My response back is, I don't date. Well, neither do I, but I was thinking. So then William and Mom, they go to pick up our brother's ashes and his death certificate.
My mom tells me, she's so stupid. She should date him. She could get free funeral. And I was like, yes, ma'am, you make a good point.
So they go to pick up the stuff, and he messages me, hey, did you still want a video? I'm like, didn't my mom just pick it up? So then the funny thing is, Mom loses it in her car, and then she finds it. So then just last week, right before I'm leaving, he messages me. He says, he's like, hey, do you still want to go on that date that's not a date?
I mean, it's really it's unprofessional when someone's just lost a relative and you're cremating them to then ask, the relative to go out with you.
I did have to wonder how many times he's asked somebody.
But think about it. He knew you were a woman in a vulnerable position, mourning. It's easy to take advantage of someone in that context. It's deeply inappropriate.
Not this girl.
That's right, because you got some brick walls that you built up, girl. They keep everybody out. All right, Sinan, what are your thoughts on Sweden?
I literally forgot my thoughts. Like, literally. This song's so beautiful. It's really beautiful. And Cornelia, oh my gosh, she's such a cool girl. Like,
Yeah.
I love, interacting with her in a London Eurovision party.
Suzanne. Watching her NBA right now.
She interrupts me every single time. She's like, you don't have to talk anymore. So I really love, that song, as you said, I really get the shallow vibe, of course.
Are you guys talking about Lady Gaga?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
But, as you said, it's not a plagiarism or something like that. And let's remember everybody, Shallow is the most awarded song in the history. So, it has BAFTA, Golden Globe, Oscar, Grammy, literally everything. So, this says a lot about, if we want to make, similarities to Hold Me Closer, that means that the song is successful, and it is successful song, Hold Me Closer. I really love that part, the bridge, what was it? Tomorrow will hurt really bad. Oh, that part, literally, Cornelia takes me to heaven and, meets me there. We drink coffee or tea and we talk. It's so, gorgeous, that part. I love that song a lot.
Thank you so much. Now, it is time for us to do something very important. We are going to go around and give out our final score for Sweden. This is the final score we're awarding in the entire Wiwi Jury 2022, 40 songs later. We're going to kick this off with Jonathan from the UK.
This is an 8 out of 10 for me. It is one that I'm really loving. It is in my top 10 of the year, and I can definitely see Sweden in contention to win the trophy this year. It's a standout song.
So this song, like Sweden, to me is just on like Spain, is just it's on another level. I gave this a 10. So Sweden and Spain are my two 10s of the year. Spain is my favorite production. Sweden is my favorite song. I could hear this being a top 10 hit in the United States. Yep. Cornelia Jakobs has recorded an incredibly beautiful performance for the Wiwi Jam at-home concert. Yeah. And if I had to place a bet on which Wiwi Jam performance is going to get the 51 million views like Måneskin did last year, if anyone does come close, it would be Cornelia Jakobs, because this song has an international quality about it. I just think it's perfectly possible that she could be imperfect and it would feel like perfection, because the song is about fragility, vulnerability. So girl, let it warble, let it crack, give us that chain smoker realness. It's all gonna work. Is
Cornelia a chain smoker?
I have no idea, but she's got a gravelly voice is my point. It all works with this song. This is only one of 4 or 5 Eurovision 2022 songs that I have on my Spotify playlist. I listen to this daily, and I rarely listen to Eurovision music away from YouTube and away from the blog, but like this song has infiltrated all aspects of my life. I love it. J'adore, tack så mycket, tusen tack.
Let's move it along.
Suzanne Adams.
We're doing scores, right? So, I rated 4 songs above this when I initially did my scoring, and I rated several songs the same. So my highest score was an 8, which went to Norway. This was a 7, and I did have 4. Actually, no, there were 5 above this, and this was a 7 point. This was a 7. I had 4 7.5s and 1 8. This is now my number 1 song. This is the one I am presently rooting for. 7 out of 10, and it's only going higher.
Given that you gave us, a lot of 3s and 4s. A 7's really good for you.
I gave a lot of 2s this year.
Yeah, Sinan.
Okay. My point. I gave it 9 out of 10. And actually, I wanted to say that after she won, my first thought was like juries will love it and they will vote as the international juries, you know, put her first place in Melodifestivalen. And then I was like, I think the public, like Sweden struggled like 2018, 2019, 2021 struggled with televotes. And then I was like, oh, this may be another, you know, Swedish song that we like, but juries also like 2019, John Lundvik, he won the jury vote, but televote was
I'm still sad.
Like-
I see them on this.
I'm sorry, this is the best in my mind, the best Melodifestivalen song since Loreen.
And after days passed and you know the pre-parties, and I watched that people started loving even more that song, and I was like, okay, Sweden is coming back, you know, with the televote and the fan favorite songs, so I'm really happy about it.
All right, so let's go to Jonathan because
Girl,
what?
before we give the score, I want to read some comments. Albin Larson makes a very good point. I want this so much, but I want the staging for Sweden to be that Cornelia spins the gigantic sun thing on the stage, which could replace the circle she had in Melfest. Make use of that tech SVT. That's interesting. That is a really good point. She could really benefit from having an actual sun on the stage. Liam Donahue says, girl, if she sounds like that, I want what she smokes. Lee Fern says, before I go to sleep, Eurovision 97 is calling. Enjoy, Katrina. Das Mystery Man says, what's with this chat and saying the Swedish era is over? Let me tell you, a new Swedish era is beginning.
A new day is on the horizon.
I've not really loved a Swedish entry in a long time. I absolutely love this. It is time to tell you the overall global average. We are not the only Wiwibloggers on planet Earth. They are all over the place, from Colombia to Venezuela to
Mercury,
United
Venus,
States,
Mars, Uranus,
you name it, Australia.
Pluto,
When we take the
Saturn.
girl, leave Uranus out of this. When we take the overall global average across all these people, we get... Oh, wow. Let me just remind you, Spain got an 8.91. Sweden has earned an 8.94.
All right.
So, this means that Sweden is the winner of the Wiwi Jury 2022 by the thinnest of margins in the history of our jury. Just 0.03. Jonathan Votri, Wiwi Jury Overseer, please tell us about this achievement.
It is...
Did you get any can of beans?
No, that's the scoreboard winner.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, as we said with Spain, getting up towards a 9 is like really, really stand out. It's again will be one of the highest, we jury scores of the year. It's very interesting that we've had sort of such tight top 2, and then Netherlands is down a bit more, sort of 8.1. Often the top ones are maybe slightly more spaced out. Last year was relatively tight top 2 as well. So Jean Steers got 8.77 and Barbara Pravi got 8.73. So yeah, we've had those tight things before, but to have sort of just 2 standout tracks sort of really sort of popping up towards that 9, it's an interesting sort of ending, I guess, to the whole thing.
I'm placing the link to the full Wiwi Jury results in the chat right now if you want to take a look and see for yourself. We will quickly right now just tell you the top 10. In 10th place, we have Ireland. Then it is Ukraine in 9th, Portugal in 8th, Italy in 7th, Norway in 6th, Greece in 5th, Albania in 4th, the Netherlands in 3rd, and then at the top, our 2 queens, Spain 8.91, Sweden 8.94. This is so close. I just want to again thank Jonathan for organizing this year's Wiwi Jury. Because let me tell you, nobody turns anything in on time. It's a huge headache, so you're an icon.
He handles it very well.
You handled it like a
it's
true
great,
diplomat,
actually.
so thank you so
And he
much.
follows the rules. He doesn't give people extra time. He is a godsend.
He is good. Now, what we need to do now is quickly go around and give our final thoughts very concisely and briefly about the overall result, Sinan. Sinan Sadullah.
Yes, overall results about the whole Wiwi Jury.
Yes.
I think we have a beautiful top 10. I'm really proud of those scores and points and songs. I like all of them, I think. Yes. And yeah, we have taste. We have taste.
Suzanne.
Even though we are different, we celebrate diversity, but we are one.
Suzanne, final thoughts.
I love our big, happy, dysfunctional family that we're going to get to spend some time with soon. I am thrilled that Sweden rose to the top as she has risen to my top. So the team and I agree. I'm just really excited that we're all here in what is, a much more normal setting here in Turin than we had in Rotterdam last year. And I'm looking forward to a great time. Before we close this out, William, can you please just let everyone know rather what we have on the agenda for tomorrow moving on to
Absolutely, but Jonathan will say his piece. Thank you so much.
I'm just gonna say, don't take the Wiwi Jury super seriously.
Yeah.
Having done all 40 posts and reading through a lot of comments, it is just our personal take on things. It's never been stated that it's supposed to be a prediction, or we're just sharing our...
Have we ever been right though, Jonathan?
Yes.
Yeah, we have been in the past. Duncan Lawrence won
yes.
by a fair margin. So it's just us sharing our thoughts. It's just 18 people. You could take 18 completely other new fans, Eurovision fans, get them to do the exact same thing, and you get a completely different ranking. Yeah, it's just a bit of fun, and it's just sort of getting the conversation started about your top 10s as well, who you're giving points to.
Who came last, Jonathan? Someone's asked.
Bulgaria came last with a score of 3.88.
That's a 3.88 for Bulgaria, 40th place with the Wiwi Jury.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so listen, we have a few things to close this out. First of all, please remember that we are not the only Wiwibloggers. There are dozens of us all around the world, and they too will be joining us in Torino, actually. Many people will be coming to Torino to help us with our on-the-ground coverage. We won't be in the press room, but we will be around Torino. Well, Suzanne and I will be in the press room, but most of our bloggers will be in and around Torino. Please also know that tomorrow is first rehearsals. This year is very different because the EBU is only sharing 90 seconds of TikTok footage, and that 90 seconds will include, I think, 30 seconds of the rehearsal, and then an interview clip and sort of playful stuff. So we will be reacting to things tomorrow. We will have to tell you during the day whether we're doing live streams and when. We need to see, the pace of the videos coming out, etc. on the EBU website. Also, in case I didn't mention it, my book, Wild Dances, a memoir of love, loss, and the Eurovision Song Contest, will be coming out in spring 2023. So I'm just placing that link in the live chat now. Do sign up to the newsletter. My publisher would be absolutely thrilled, and
when
so
is it coming
would
out again?
Spring 2023, so
Please
next
follow me
year.
I
on
hope
YouTube
so.
to take the classes with me.
And listen,
Follow me on Instagram.
Please vote for Sinan so that he
SDL.
can at some point participate in Eurovision
and
as
so
an artist.
tomorrow we will see you. So please follow wiwibloggs.com. We'll be uploading our rehearsal reviews, and also be sure to pay attention to YouTube. We'll let you know what we're uploading. We will have lots of reactions going up and premiering, and we will have some live streams as well. So just stay tuned. We have a lot of things happening tomorrow. So
We will see you
actually,
later.
no. That's
Let's
what we no. That's what we think. What do you think? Let us know what you're thinking about the Wiwi Jury results and whether you agree. Who came out on top for you and who is your bottom? Let us know here on Wiwibloggs.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have lots of things coming up. Wiwi Jam at home, Wiwibloggs scoreboard,
Wiwi Jam in person.
live in
That's sold
Torino, Hiroshima Club, something.
Hiroshima Mon Amour is where our club will
Yes,
our
one
party
of
will
the
be.
legendary clubs in Torino, girl.
Aw, Matt in New Zealand, thank you so much. Okay, seriously, we're
Oh,
closing.
thank you so much. That's so
No, he said
kind.
we do a great job.
That's
It wasn't-
very sweet.
Yes.
That's very
So
sweet.
So we're gonna close this
Jonathan
out.
is going to have the last word.
Give the video a thumbs up. Make sure you're following us on all the other social media sites as well. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Pinterest.
TikTok, not Pinterest.
And in honor of Deb and Adarumi, Wiwibloggs.com, what's on your mood board? Let us know, because mood boards are lit. We'll see you later. Bye! Oh, who dropped SloMo? Mo.